At 94, William Shatner has reached a point in life where reflection feels inevitable and honesty feels necessary. And with that clarity he has finally spoken openly about his longtime Star Trek co-star James Doohan, offering a perspective shaped by decades of experience, humility, and hindsight. Born on March 22, 1931, in Montreal, Quebec, Shatner was raised in a Jewish household by his parents Joseph and Anne, and from an early age showed both intellectual curiosity and a deep attraction to performance. While studying economics at McGill University, he discovered acting not simply as entertainment, but as a powerful way to explore character, morality, and imagination, a realization that led him to formal training and a foundation in classical theatre, including Shakespearean work with Canada's prestigious Stratford Festival. This early grounding gave Shatner his distinctive command of language and presence, qualities that followed him into television and film in the 1950s and 60s through roles in The Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and Judgment at Nuremberg, long before fame arrived in 1966 with his casting as Captain James T. Kirk. As the charismatic commander of the USS Enterprise, Shatner helped turn Star Trek into more than a science fiction series, transforming it into a cultural and philosophical statement about diversity, cooperation, and humanity's potential during a time of social upheaval. Though the show was cancelled after 3 seasons, its legacy exploded through syndication, films, and conventions, allowing Shatner to portray Kirk across 7 feature films and explore the rare full arc of a character's life, culminating in Kirk's symbolic death in Star Trek Generations. Yet iconic fame came at a cost, and after the show's original run ended in 1969, Shatner faced typecasting and professional uncertainty, adapting through television roles, game shows, and persistence until Star Trek. The motion picture revived both the franchise and his career in 1979. He went on to reinvent himself repeatedly, from self-parody in comedies to gritty reinvention in T.J. Hooker, steady authority on Rescue 9/11, commercial success as a science fiction author, and critical acclaim as the flamboyant lawyer Denny Crane on The Practice and Boston Legal, a role that earned him awards and redefined his reputation as a serious character actor. Even into his later years, Shatner refused to fade quietly, remaining active in media, publishing his autobiography Up Till Now, hosting documentaries, engaging in scientific discourse, and in 2021, at age 90, becoming the oldest person to travel into space, a moment that deeply moved him and symbolically closed the circle on a lifetime spent imagining the cosmos. His personal life unfolded alongside his career in chapters of love, loss, and resilience, marked by 4 marriages, enduring devotion to his daughters, and the devastating loss of his 3rd wife, Nerine Kidd, a tragedy that permanently shaped his outlook on life and mortality. Now, with time having softened old tensions, Shatner has spoken candidly about James Doohan, acknowledging that the original Star Trek set was not always harmonious, that sudden fame, long hours, and fragile egos created misunderstandings, and that he himself did not always recognize or appreciate Doohan's quiet talent and generosity. He admits that while he was focused on carrying the weight of the show, he sometimes overlooked the warmth, professionalism, and humanity that Doohan brought to the role of Scotty, a character whose optimism inspired engineers, astronauts, and generations of dreamers. Addressing long-rumored distance between them, Shatner expresses regret rather than defensiveness, acknowledging that while they were never enemies, they were not as close as they could have been, and that Doohan's death in 2005 left words unsaid and gratitude unspoken. Looking back now, Shatner honors Doohan not just as a co-star, but as a resilient man who carried the scars of war and still chose kindness and humor, reframing their shared history as one of flawed human beings navigating extraordinary circumstances. At 94, Shatner's truth is not about blame or revision, but about recognition, gratitude, and growth, a reminder that even legends continue to learn long after the spotlight fades, and that the most meaningful legacy often lies not in fame, but in the humanity we recognize too late and finally choose to honor.